Yo, and today we're going to be reacting to products you'll never consume after seeing this video. Let's get disgusted.
Most of the time, the food and drink we buy is perfectly safe to consume, and works exactly as we expect it to. However, in rare instances, an unwelcome surprise may accompany the products we know and love. With these unwanted bonuses ranging from reptiles to real human teeth, after seeing this video, you'll never want to consume some of these products again.
Human teeth? Oh, okay. See, bananas and bread. Banana bread.
Cucumber crisis.
Wait, what?
In 2014,
Jenny
Wilkinson of the Isle of Wight got more than she bargained for when she picked up a cucumber from her local grocery store. It looked pretty ordinary at first glance, until she noticed this. Squashed inside the supermarket packaging was a small squished gecko.
A mouse? Oh no! Oh no! No, poor gecko! Guys, leave an RIP in the comments for Jerry the gecko. RIP Jerry. Rest in peace.
Jenny bought the cucumber for her 1-year-old grandson, but luckily she spotted the unwelcome guest before he tucked into it. It seemed the reptile had been minding his own business on the cucumber when it was harvested and rapidly sealed in the plastic wrap. He probably didn't even get time for a nibble.
Yes, R.I.P. Aww.
Understandably, Jenny complained to Aldi, the supermarket responsible, and received a 20-pound voucher for her troubles. While everyone likes their cucumber to be a little crispy, maybe Aldi took that a little too literally on this occasion. Weevil fried rice.
Little bugs.
From a distance, this may seem like some tasty seasoned rice. A closer look shows something much less appealing. Those small black dots are actually weevils, a tiny 3mm long beetle occasionally found in packaged rice. Rice weevils are known to infest rice fields and in some cases make their way through quality control and into supermarkets. But the reason they're able to slip through undetected is truly skin crawling. A female rice weevil will typically chew a hole into the rice and deposit an egg inside. It'll then seal up the opening, leaving the egg behind. Once it's ready, the fully formed weevil eats its way out of the ground. In an infested batch, thousands of these little critters can emerge.
Okay, I'm throwing that in the trash. See you later.
Talk about nightmare fuel. So if you see lots of tiny holes in your rice, it might be best not to eat it. Of course, before you throw your rice reserves out, make sure you're not confusing mixed white and black rice for an infested batch. But if the black bits start moving, feel free to kill them with fire.
Oh yeah, I will.
Mother vinegar. Imagine you're pouring out some vinegar when you spot this floating in the bottle.
Oh, what's
Pretty
that?
gross, right? Well, surprisingly, it might not be as bad as it looks. This floating anomaly is known as a vinegar mother and can take many forms, from a thin membrane to a large stringy mass. But don't be alarmed, the mother isn't an alien life form. It's actually a colony of bacteria that feeds on alcoholic liquids that haven't been completely fermented in the vinegar making process. The more unprocessed alcohol in the vinegar, the larger the mother can get. While it's not usually supposed to form in supermarket vinegar bottles, the mother is crucial in the production process. It's responsible for turning alcohol into acetic acid, which gives vinegar its sharp flavor. Interestingly, if you could put its gross appearance aside, you could actually remove a mother like this one and put it in some wine to create your own vinegar. This mother membrane will do you no harm, although I wouldn't advise looking at one for too long. Still, better than finding your actual mother preserved in a bottle of vinegar, I guess. Bean Treater. As a child, you might have thought green beans look a little bit like tiny snakes. But that idea became a frightening reality for one mother from Alabama in 2019. Michelle Bentley and her daughter were cooking up some canned beans and potatoes when an unusual chunk floated to the surface. At first, Michelle thought the chunk was a burnt bean, until she lifted the spoon and saw what it really was: the tiny severed head.
R.I.P. George. We're just leaving R.I.P. George, R.I.P. Jerry in the comments. Leave it in the comments. Do it right now.
Of a snake. During the harvest, or possibly during the chopping process in the factory, a snake had clearly had the misfortune of being diced up along alongside the beans. Which, of course, raised the question, where was the rest of it? That question was never answered, though Glory Foods, the company responsible, did promise to investigate. But Michelle wasn't the only one to make a discovery of this kind. A woman in Utah found another snakehead in her green beans in 2016. She just purchased 30 cans of her everyday Western family variety, but after her discovery...
Oh my god. Guys, R.I.P. Poi. His name's
them
Poi.
all having
R.I.P.
been
Poi.
put off for life. Anti-aging McDonald's. In 2009, Hyotor Samarison purchased a McDonald's meal. But rather than eat his food, Hyotor set out to test the urban legend that McDonald's doesn't age. So on the last day before the closure of his local McDonald's in Iceland, he purchased a cheeseburger and fries and stored them in a plastic container. Then the waiting game began. Disturbingly, despite growing a little paler, the food remained largely unchanged in appearance a whole 10 years later. The reason for this unusual longevity is that McDonald's food tends to dry out quickly, creating an environment that isn't particularly hospitable to microbes. Mickey D's also use a special food additive called L-cysteine to give their products an extra long shelf life. Disturbingly, the cysteine that's used for food additives is often sourced from human hair, as well as duck feathers, cow horns, and pig hair. The human hair is mostly gathered from barbershops in China before being processed to extract the cysteine. Tasty, right? Peanut butter horror.
Yeah,
Many people like their peanut butter to be a little chunky,
we might
but
cut the
those
video
chunks
short
are
if
usually
they don't
expected
have
to be
time.
insects. Despite this, the American Food and Drink Administration states that it's legal to sell peanut butter containing 30 or more insect fragments per 100 grams. While those fragments are an unavoidable harmless part of the harvesting process, it's not just bugs that you may come across in your peanut butter.
If
The
it's
Food and
live,
Drink
I'll take it
Administration
out.
also claims that it's acceptable for one rodent hair to be found per 100 grams of peanut butter. This is because rat hair is defined as a natural contaminant to be expected in peanut butter, as peanuts often grow in areas where rats are commonplace. Chances are your PB&J sandwich is just fine, but be sure to check how crunchy it is next time. Meaty microchip. If you happen to be eating meat and come across a small pill-shaped object like this, you might think someone's trying to lace your food. But while it's not exactly a pleasant thing to encounter, no one's trying to kill you. This is actually a microchip used on farm animals that appears to have made it through the raising, butchering, and packaging processes onto the plate of one unfortunate Reddit user. A tiny microtransceiver is sealed within the glass capsule, which is typically implanted in livestock, enabling farmers to identify specific animals. While there is significant potential danger in accidentally swallowing something like this, there's also a bright side if you ever find one. That bright side being that the company responsible will likely shower you with free stuff to avoid a lawsuit. You'd just better hope that there are no microchips in the free stuff. Speaking of free stuff, if you're interested in receiving free daily content covering a huge range of fascinating facts and stories, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. It really helps me out, and studies carried out by me just now show it'll decrease your chances of finding something gross in your food by 99%. It's a no-brainer. Stinging bananas.
Oh,
In 2014, a British woman received a scary surprise in a bunch of supermarket bananas. Amongst the
okay, guys. For a second, let's give this guy a name. Let's call him Stingy. Hi, Stingy. Okay. If I found Stingy just chilling on my bananas, I'd probably like cut it open, take some like tweezers or something, and just pluck them out of my bananas and release.
fruit was a large juvenile black-edged scorpion, which was picked and packaged along with the bananas during the harvesting. Somehow the scorpion had survived the 5,000-mile trip from Costa Rica all the way to the UK. While this scorpion sting isn't deadly to humans, it can still cause an awful lot of pain, and may even result in a visit to the hospital. With that in mind, it was a stroke of luck that it was found before making its way into a customer's fruit bowl. After the initial fright, a startled shop assistant who found the creature and her colleagues rehomed the lost traveler at a local zoo. While the little guy was a long way from home, at least he'd have free food and shelter for the rest of his life. Hopefully no bananas, though.
I'm not gonna.
Glove on toast. Not every disgusting thing people find in food is an animal. In 2008, a woman from Northern Ireland opened up a loaf of bread to find this inside. While it may look like the loaf is trying to get away with wearing a wig, That's not exactly the
Carrot.
case. Those hairy fibers are actually fragments of an oven glove and her loaf of Hopus bread. That's certainly a unique topping for your toast. It turned out the baker responsible had accidentally left their oven glove in the oven alongside the loaf and failed to notice the two had fused together before packaging it. Following the customer making a complaint, the company responsible were fined £750 for breaking environmental health laws. While they stressed that this was just an isolated incident, I'll be taking extra care when biting into my sandwiches from now on. Fishy parasite. As retired school principal Paul Poley was about
I've heard about these before. They're tongue eaters. They like become
to tuck into his sea bass at a restaurant, he spotted something truly vomit-inducing. Just in time to avoid putting it in his mouth, Paul spied a 1-inch long yellow crustacean chilling inside his meal. As it turned out, this was a parasite, and its appearance put Paul off fish for life. These crustaceans are usually discovered and removed by fishmongers when they fillet the fish, but Paul had specifically asked for a non-fillet fish, which explains his unwanted side dish. If that sounds bad, wait until you hear how they live. The parasite, or tongue-eating louse, enters a fish through its gills. It then severs the fish's tongue before attaching itself to the remaining stuff and eating a share of all the food that enters the fish's mouth. Thankfully, eating these parasites won't cause a human much harm, though arriving can bite back. Baked mouse. Baked beans are an absolute staple food in the UK, but not everyone's a big
mousy. Rip squeaky. To press F to pay respect.
baked beans fan. Case in point, the Londoner who pulled what he thought was a piece of string from his tin of beans. He was horrified to find it was actually a tail attached to a dead mouse, saturated in tomato sauce. After hearing the news, the local council fined the manufacturers of the beans £8,000, and the supermarket responsible quickly removed 12,000 other tins of the same batch from its shelves. Tests on the mouse revealed that its stomach was full of bean starch, so at least it had one last meal. Chocolate bar with a bite. When Texas woman Sue Calhoun bit down on her Milky Way bar, she noticed something hard within the chocolate. At first, Sue thought it was just a peanut, which would have already been pretty bad, considering Milky Ways are supposed to be nut-free. However, Sue quickly found out it was something much worse. She spat the item out of her mouth and looked down to discover that it was, in fact, a stranger's tooth, complete with a silver filling. Sue contacted a representative from the Mars Company who produced Milky Way bars and was offered candy bar coupons and a representative from the
What's that green M&M? Then it looks like girlfriend is like sitting on top of the speaker in the same pose.
Mars Company who produced Milky Way bars and was offered candy bar coupons.
F&F reference. If you don't get it, who the heck are you?
And an apology letter. If you ask me, that's not nearly enough of an explanation, and unsurprisingly, she wasn't too keen to satisfy her sweet tooth again anytime soon. The curry creature. It's customary to enjoy a curry with naan bread or poppadoms, but Jason Dance from the UK got a side dish of a different kind in the chicken tikka marsala he bought from his local Tesco supermarket. As he was about to tuck in, a 3-inch long, wiggly creature emerged, moving at an alarming speed from underneath the pile of rice. Mr. Dons quickly put the meal back into its original packaging and took it straight round to the supermarket. Tesco took the creature in for testing and later identified the bug as a large caterpillar, providing Jason
R.I.P. Squirmy.
with some vouchers for the disturbing experience. But the most disturbing part of all was that the caterpillar had crawled out of Jason's meal after 5 minutes in the microwave. At strength like that, thank God the curry creature wasn't able to escape the plate that terrorized the nation.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to end the video here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and set that bell set that notification and hit that bell and set it to all so that you know when I post a new video. And I'll see you later, alligator. Bye-bye. How do I end the freaking video? There we go. Clank it. Nah.